Welcome to a summer edition of Gentle Somatic Yoga and other tools for feeling your best no matter what's going on in your life. And so we'll start with a breathing practice that's called Breath of Joy. And Breath of Joy is a lovely way to, feel happier no, if you're feeling a little down or tired or something like that. Breath of Joy, I'll demonstrate it. It can be done in a chair if it's too vigorous for you standing up. So I will show it both standing and in the chair. So it's a 3-part inhale. Part 1, the arms go up in front of you. Part 2 of the inhale, the arms go out to the side. Part 3, the arms go up. So that's all the inhale, and you do that continuously. And then the exhale is you slightly bend your knees and just whoosh the air out, and you could swing your arms. You can go further down or just swing it like this, or this whole thing can be done in the chair. So it'd be inhale, 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 and you can really just not even put your head down. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And I think there's still somebody not muted. So let me just go in here and mute. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So maybe do 1 or 2 more of those and see how you feel. And again, you can make this as vigorous as you want. That's up to you how much you do. Now take your right hand and place it on your heart, your left hand and place it on your belly, and just slow your breathing down. You can do this with eyes open or eyes closed. Just notice your heartbeat. Notice if you feel a little more tingling or waves of energy in your body. Scan your body for anything that's drawing your attention. Do so with curiosity, not fear. Like, that's interesting. And then if you don't mind taking both hands and placing them on your heart and setting an intention for this practice and for today. What do you need out of this practice? What do you need out of this day? If you can, say it in the present positive, as if it's occurring. I am, or something present and positive. I am is a really simple way to do it. I am healthy and vibrant. I am calm and serene. I am joyful. I am happily participating in all my activities today. I am grateful for the health that I have today. I am safe and sound. Whatever is ringing true for you. And then go ahead and just walk slowly around your room, trying to do opposite arm and opposite leg, opposite arm and opposite leg. Just do a little jaunt around your room. And as you're walking, notice if this feels awkward or if it's like something is holding you back. Like I'm feeling a sticking a little bit under my left hip. do that kind of observation as you're walking. This is called walking like a model. If you've ever wanted to be a model, now's your chance. You can do this again, large or small. You want to see how this feels. We are going to crawl today too. So these are good things for us to practice just to make sure our brain is connecting with these muscles in a safe, healthy way. All right, shake it out. Shake it out. And then for a moment, I want you to rock back and forth. Rock back to your heels, lift your toes, rock forward a little bit to the toes. Rock back and forth just a few times. And notice if you're able to do this, gently rocking back and forth. Now, if you want to challenge yourself and you feel like you can today, you could try this with eyes closed and just see how that changes things. Whoa. I tell you, it's amazing how closing the eyes changes the balance. Now do something else. Now stare like to one side. So pick a spot to stare at, not your moving your head, but your eyes peripherally, staring at something off to the side, one side. Whoa, that's interesting. Now try it the other way. Now stare off to the other side and see when I stare off to the right, my balance feels good. When I stared off to the left, my balance felt really weird. Now have your eyes look up a little bit. This is also eye yoga. You didn't know there was eye yoga, I imagine. Now have your eyes, and again, it's not your head, it's just your eyes, look down a little bit. And still rocking slowly back and forth. All right, go ahead and shake that out. Just release it. Whatever you need to do between these routines. Some people like to shake, some people like stillness, some people like to put their hand back on the heart. You pick out whatever you need as a neutralizing activity between our little sets that we do. So go ahead and widen your legs. And if you could, slightly turn your feet out, but when you bend your knees, make sure your knees are not collapsing in. If the knees are collapsing in, then take the feet slightly in. If your knees are able to go out, then you can take it out like that. And just start working this lower body. In most of the Eastern traditions, they say the stronger the lower body, the more healthy you are. So they really focus on strength in our low body. You could add some arms to it. And then go ahead and cross the hands on the top and cross the hands on the bottom. And see if you can change it each time. I don't know if I'm changing it or not. I'm trying to. Now I'm changing the legs. I'm doing 2 bends. Okay. No, I keep doing the same hands up there. All right, shake that out. Now, take the hands and see if you can lift them up and touch them without looking at them over your head. See if your fingers will touch. Now try this with the eyes closed. Not bad. Now try in front. You can try first with your eyes open. Hands come together. Now try with the eyes closed. See if they reach each other. So this is proprioception. This is the ability to sense where you are in space, using our senses, sometimes other than our eyes. All right, go ahead and shake that out. A little bit of balance work, a little bit of proprioception work is always good for us. No matter what age, no matter what your health status is, do what you need to do to shake out. And then let's start working each of our joints, one joint at a time. We'll start with our upper body joints. Drop the chin to the chest and imagine you're a pendulum. So very slowly pendulum to one side. Come back to the middle and notice where you're sensing that. Really pay attention. Are you feeling that in the back of the neck? Are you feeling it in the front? Go the other way. So just imagine you're like one of these pendulums swinging. So the next time you go off to that side, which is your right, lift the shoulder and then turn the ear off to the side momentarily. Drop the shoulder, turn the chin back to the shoulder, and pendulum to the other side slowly. So now I'm lifting the shoulder, turning the ear to the shoulder, turning the chin back, dropping the shoulder, coming back to the middle, and then returning the head to neutral. Take your second and third finger, find that indent in the back of your head, right underneath your skull, and just give it a couple circles one way and a couple circles the other way, just to loosen up that neck. And then shake that out. So let's do the shoulders next. So the shoulders, you could do this against a wall, or you could just imagine you have a wall. I'm going to show you. So if you're doing it against the wall or imagining it, your hands are about here. And then you're swimming a shoulder, and then swimming them back. So what we're doing is trying to isolate the shoulder area and have it work separate from all these other muscles. And if you were doing that against the wall, you'd be leaning up against the wall and then it's circling it like this. And then going back. And go ahead and shake that one out. So interlace the fingers your natural way first, and then switch the interlace. So if you put your right thumb in front, put your right thumb behind. See if you can connect the elbows and the wrist together initially. Allow the elbows to push away from each other, and you're pushing on the wrists a little bit, not hard. And then release the wrists. Your fingers are still interlaced. Turn the hands to face me. Very gently lift over the shoulders. Now you see how bent my arms are? You don't want to do that unless you have no pain at all. So I'm doing it like this. And then I want you to twist off and drop a hand behind your back and look over there. Bring that hand back up. Turn the hands inside out again. Twist off to the other side. Drop the hand behind the back and bring it back. And then one time, just let it go. Big circle. And then you could just let your arms circling around just a few more times loosely. And then as if you're a butterfly circling forward. And shake it out again. All right, so I think we've worked a lot of the upper body joints. Let's focus on the rib cage. It's not a joint, but the rib cage can get really, really sticky on a lot of us. So place your hands on your rib cage and feel your rib cage, and then tuck everything in, round the shoulders up, and actually lift the head up. So it's really bad posture. It's like the posture you would not want to be seen. And then release to neutral. And then draw the shoulders slightly back, not too much, just enough to feel the muscles working, and tuck the chin in and release to neutral. Let's do that one more time. Carving out the stomach, the chin lifts, the shoulders lift, bad posture. Release to neutral, and then jutting the ribs out a little bit, drawing elbows slightly back, tucking the chin in, and release. Now we'll go side to side. I want you to imagine that you've got a big beach ball in your arms on either side. I want the beach ball to expand on that side, come back to the middle, expand on the other side, back to the middle. So this is moving the ribs, not the lower body. And now let's see if we can put all these movements together. So forward, side, back, side. See if you can smooth it out. You're moving your upper body, not the lower body trying. And then slow it down and go the other way. The ribs don't move a lot, but if we can get those little muscles between the rib cage a little more lubricated, it actually helps our breathing. All right, shake it all out. Woo! For a minute, let's close our eyes and check in. You should have a lot of like tingling in your upper body. Just notice how much more alive the upper body feels. It's almost like the electricity has been turned on. Okay, so now we're going to pretend we're belly dancers. See, I'm getting to do all the things I never was good at, being a model, a belly dancer. So I'm going to take the right hand face down on the belly. The left hand is going to be face back on the back. And then I'm trying to maneuver the waist. So imagine you have a hula hoop and you're trying to keep that hula hoop up. You're moving that middle part of the body. Go ahead and switch and see if you can move the middle part of the body. Trying to get all the kinks out of everywhere, especially for those of you traveling. A lot of you have been traveling. All right, shake that one out. Hips. The hips are the ones that really suffer from sitting too long. So let's carve the hips forward and back a few times. So it looks like this. Feel that the hips rotate forward and back. And then let's go side to side. So I like doing the side to side as a hip hike. So lift up onto the ball of one foot, that hip is hiked, and then shorten toward it, and then come down. Lift up on the ball of the other foot. So the whole hip's lifting and the shoulders lowering. You should have a shortened side and a long side. Come down. Hip hike and down. Hip hike and down. Hip hike and down. Now let's do circling. So slowly at first, see if you can get all the movements of the hips and see if it's slowing down somewhere or not moving smoothly, or if there's any like snap, crackle, and pops going on. If there are, then stop at that one place and feather the movement. So this is what a feathered movement would look like. I'm just kind of going in and out of that spot and then continuing. That's called micro movements or feathering. All right. Getting down to the lower joints. Feel your knees. If you need to sit for this, if you have really bad knees or bending over like this does not feel good for you, go ahead and sit to circle the knees. And what we're doing is just circling them. Just seeing how they're moving today. And then going the other direction. And lastly would be the ankles. And for the ankles, if you don't feel like balancing, place your hand on something, lift up one foot, First, circle the ankle one way, circle the ankle the other way, flex and point a few more times. Maybe swivel side to side like a windshield wiper, and then do the other foot. Circling and circling and flexing and pointing and swiveling side to side and shake it out. And lastly, go ahead and bend your knees. Come about a third down. So I'm not going too far down. And do some standing cat-cows. So I'm pulling the belly in, arching, coming back to neutral, and then going the other way. See how much your spine is willing to undulate here. All right. And then in any safe way possible, some of you might want to do a downward dog to go down to the ground. Some of us are just going to sit down. We're going to make our way to the ground to work twists and things like that. So get my thing to tilt it down a little bit more since I'm no longer going to be standing. Okay. So when you're seated on the ground, prop your hips up if you have a tendency to round too much. And that could be with a blanket or with a bolster. And we'll start just in cross leg for a moment, again, just to check in and see how you're feeling. So we've hopefully moved energy around, lubricated all the joints in a simple way. And you're just checking in with how your body is feeling, how your breath is feeling. Checking back in with your intention. All right. So I did promise one of my yoga students that I would do this one on the ground today. It tends to be a favorite of a lot of people because it's an amazing way to loosen your whole back body. Now, if you're, be very careful. I know at least one of my students has an ankle issue, so be really careful. I think this should be safe because it's working really the toes, but if this doesn't work, just do it with the one foot that's not injured. You'll still get the benefit up here. So what we're doing, and oh, I forgot, when you're on the ground, you should have your blanket spread out, only because most of these sticky mats are sticky, which means sliding is not very easy. So spread out a blanket in some fashion so that it's easier to move. So just see if your feet are willing to slide a little bit forward and back. Just slide it. And see if that feels okay. So what we're going to do is with our hands around our legs is we're going to look up and see how our back body feels, how our neck feels, if everything feels tight. And then take the hands and place them behind your back. Fingers are pointed away. You don't have to worry about your posture here. You can sit in any, you don't have to keep your shoulders back or anything. So slide one foot no more than 6 inches in front of the other one. Come up to the heel gently. And then if you're able to, curl the toes forward toward the ground. Release those toes. Place a foot on the ground Gently slide it back to meet the other foot and see about lifting the toes. Now we're going to do one foot at a time. And again, if you can only do one side, you do the one side. You don't do both sides. Slide the foot forward, come up onto the heel, curl the toes, release the toes, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, and then keep the foot flat, but now lift just the toes. Another time, slide the foot forward, up to the heel, curl the toes toward the ground, let the toes go, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, and lift the toes, and see if your toes can be maneuvered individually. See if you can wiggle them. Now release the hands from behind the back and place your hands back around your legs and look up. And hopefully you've released this neck area and the shoulder area and all that. Now, we're going to move to the other side. If, again, you can't do the other side, you can rest during this or try the one side again. I don't want you overdoing the one side. Slide the foot back, forward, lift up to the heel gently, curl the toes, release the toes. You might notice that one set of toes is willing to be more maneuverable than the other. I'm noticing my right toes don't nearly want to work like my left toes did. It's almost like they don't want to move. So I'm curling the toes when I slide the foot forward, releasing, flatten the foot. Now lift the toes up. So the foot is flat on the ground, the toes are lifted. Slide the foot forward, come up onto the heel, curl those toes, let those toes go, flatten the foot, slide the foot back and lift up the toes and see if you can play the piano. And now see if all the toes are willing to maneuver. And now go ahead, release the hands, wrap them back around your legs and look up again. And I hope you've gotten some release on the superficial line down your back body. All right. So making your way into, if you're able to sit in what's known as deer pose, it's also cheerleader pose, mermaid pose. You're having one leg bent forward and one leg bent back, okay? And you can cushion, again, for my client that has an ankle issue, cushion as much as you need to with an extra blanket or a towel to keep it safe. So let's start by maneuvering our hip forward and back a few times. And just see how much it's willing to move. And then lift the hip up, lower the hip down and slump. Lift it up. So when you're lifting, feel muscles engage. Lowering it down and releasing. Lift and lower. Now, if you're able to lift that back knee, feel the muscles. So you should have muscular engagement in this thigh. Release it down. Make sure when you disengage the muscles, you're really disengaging. You're not holding tension anymore. So take the time to see, okay, engage muscle, released muscle, engage muscle, and released. And now we're going to turn this direction. For me, it's right. For you, if you're mirroring me, it'd be left. First time, have eyes open and look behind you and pick a spot on the wall. And then come back and release. Now, if you're able to do this with eyes closed, close your eyes. If not, just soft gaze. And make sure you release each time. So look, I want you to see how bad my posture is. This is what I want you to do when you come back. Re-engage the muscles. Lift, lift, twist. Feel what you're working. And then unwind like a top. Unwind and let it go. Second time, feel muscles work. Where is it working? Do you feel the back of the shoulders? Do you feel the waist? Do you feel around the hips? And are you softening when you come back? This is the important part of the interoception and neuroception. We are sensing now internally and also with our nervous system to see that we are turning things on and turning things off. Learning to control this is so important for healing because it's like having a faulty wiring in our body, and we are the electricians fixing it. Okay, open your eyes and look behind you and see if you have released tension enough to gain range of motion. Nice. Go ahead and stretch this back leg off to the side and sit up for a minute. Shift your hips. Just feel one sit bone, the other sit bone, and then land in the middle. Lean over to the front without straining and see how far you can go down. And then come up and then face the outstretched side leg. Lift up. Breathe. And imagine you're a waterfall. Just fall forward and come back. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, just fall forward. Gently, don't pull. And release. Reverse direction. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, reach toward the foot and lift. Flow, don't pull. Now bend up this knee. Place the head close to the kneecap. Create an energetic connection between the forehead and the knee. And then slide the leg away slowly. And then at some point, it's going to start pulling on your low back and hip. At that point, imagine you're cutting the string, releasing everything, softening back to neutral. Do this 2 more times. Place the head near the knee. Slide the foot away, maintaining the energetic connection. Cut the connection when you get to a point where it's going to pull. And release. Last time. Now, theoretically, you should be able to go a little further each time. Don't pull, don't strain. Go slowly. Sense and release. Now sit back facing the middle and just lean over and see if you're able to increase your range of motion without pain. And let it go. Hands behind the back, fingers pointed away. Go ahead and slowly windshield wiper side to side. Take a sigh, take a breath. We're moving things out of our body gently, slowly, sensing, doing what feels right to our body, only doing movements that feel right. Let's set up completely for the other side. The one leg is back, the one leg is in front. Begin by moving the hips. See how the hips moving today. So forward and back, up and down, up and down. And then start to lift the back knee. Feel the leg engage. Release the engagement, soften. Lift, engage, feel the muscles working, and release. Third time, engage, and let it go. Now twist off to this way one time, looking for your spot. And then after that, we'll sense internally what we're doing. So I picked my spot out and I'm coming back to the front, slumping. Eyes can be soft gaze or closed. I want you to sense now the twist. So lift up, engage muscles, twist. Where are you feeling this? Release. And are you really letting go? What's not letting go? What's still holding on? Take the time to let go. Re-engage the muscles, lift, twist, soften, unwind, let go. Third time, lift, feel the muscles working. The brain is telling the muscles what to do. And then the brain is saying, okay, relax, let go, release, soften. Now open your eyes if they're closed and look behind you and see if you have been able to loosen things up a little bit. All right, stretch the leg off to the side. Shift the weight from sit bone to sit bone a few times. Feel the rocking action. Lean forward and notice how far you can go down without strain. And come up and face the outstretched leg. Lift arms up on an inhale. Flow forward on an exhale. Draw the arms back. Inhale. Exhale. On the exhale, soften down. Don't pull down. Now reverse. Sit up on the inhale. Reach as you exhale. And lift the arms up. Flow. Don't strain. Don't pull. Make it soft. Make it nourishing. Now bend that knee up. Place the head close to the knee. You're creating an energetic connection between the head and the knee with an imaginary string. Slide the foot away. At a certain point, you're going to need to cut the string. And then release. Do that again. Maybe the string can hold on a little longer. Slide, slide. Cut the string, don't go into pain, and release. And third time, energetic connection between the head and the knee. Slide away, and cut the string and let it go. Face forward again. Lean forward and see if you are a little closer to the floor. Go ahead and release both legs to the front. Place hands behind the back. Windshield wiper. Ah, sigh. Let things go. All right, we're going to make our way onto our backs now. And you might want something under the neck for part of this, and then make sure you're still on something that allows your limbs to slide. And you don't want something too much under the neck. Sometimes I just roll an edge of a blanket just to cradle my neck. And so start by turning your head gently side to side and see if you are equally able to go right and left. And then spread your arms into a T. So hopefully you've given yourself enough room so that your arms can be spread out into a T. Palms can start facing up. Let the knees drop to the left. Turn the left palm down. Keep the right palm up, and if it doesn't bother your neck, look right. Come back to the center. Let the knees drop to the right. Turn right palm down. Left palm turns up. Your eyes and your head can go toward the left, unless that bothers your neck. So go at the speed that's appropriate for you. Windshield wipering, gently allowing the arms to shift, allowing the head to also work. This is so good for our brain. We're asking a lot of it to be able to do all these different hemispheric things, like, oh, I have to concentrate on that and that. This helps us from losing our brain power. All right, try a different position of the arms. So I'm bending my elbows, placing the backs of my arms over my head on the ground with palms up. Now, if this is too much for your shoulders, this is where you would take something like a pillow or something, put it over your head so that now the ground has been elevated. I'm going to take my legs closer together. And when my legs go left, I'm going to lengthen my right arm along the pillow or the ground and come back to the center. When my legs go right, lengthen the left arm. So it's like a big yawn. The body is yawning. We're getting all of our side body involved from under the armpits down the length of the side. Last time. Now we'll do one more version of this. Widen the knees and the feet. The feet are wider than the knees. We're just taking one leg and allowing it gently to drop inward. Now, you might have a lot of inward movement. You might have a touch of inward movement. A lot of us have a harder time letting the knee go in than out. So now let's just do the other side. So my hands are on the tops of my hips, guiding it. For most of you, you should feel it right around that hip. It's again, a very concentrated move. Now draw the feet close together and just allow the knees to open and then close. Now we're going to add the upper body in this too. So put your hands behind your neck, interlace those fingers. So when the knees open, feel the backs of the arms touch the ground more and lift the chin. Now, when the knees close, tuck the chin, draw elbows toward each other. You don't even have to lift your head off the ground. This is called the flower. Imagine you are a flower opening. And then it's nighttime and the flower recloses. Last time, the flower opens, chin up, backs of arms on the ground, legs go out. And then it's nighttime and the flower closes again. So very gently draw knees up into the chest. You could cross the ankles or just leave them. Place hands on the knees and give your hips a massage. And then massage the other way. And then reach under the kneecaps and just let one leg go up at a time. And then maybe let both legs up and draw them in, both legs up and down. Place hands on the front of the thighs, push the legs away, bring them back, push them away, and bring them back. We're going to end in a seated meditation position to do a mudra practice. If sitting on the ground is not comfortable, you could do this on a chair. So make your way to seated in the safest way possible. For most of us, that's going to a side and pressing up. But if you don't like to do it that way, do it in any way possible. And then set yourself up so that you're able to sit and breathe and put your hands in an interesting formation, which is very good for you. There's a lot of interesting things that happen when we energetically draw our fingers in these really interesting positions. You'll notice the breath will go specific places. So I think I'm going to do a grounding one too. I think grounding is always good for us. We often feel ungrounded. Okay. Okay. So we're getting into the late fall season, late spring, summer season. I'll get it right. So in Chinese medicine, believe it or not, they divide the year into 5 seasons, and late summer is separate from summer. So I would say we're entering late summer. And in late summer is the season of grounding and earthings as we transition from summer to fall. So we're going to hold the palms in front of your solar plexus and press the tips of the little finger touching. So only the little finger is going to touch. And then the other fingers are just going to relax in, like making a gentle fist. So your pinkies are touching each other. The other fingers are kind of circled in. And then you're leaning this against your solar plexus, dropping your shoulders down your back. But just for a moment, breathe like this with your hands in this position and notice where you're feeling your breath. This is known as the Kanishta Mudra, the gesture of the little finger. And the theme is the living earth pulses within my being. This infuses me with stability and grounding. So the energy and the awareness and your breath should be going all the way down to the base of the body. The gesture lengthens your exhale, creating a relaxation response, reducing stress and blood pressure. This mudra activates the earth element. As we integrate the qualities of stability, firmness, and support, we naturally deepen our connection to the earth, to the natural world, its cycle and seasons. So you should be feeling the breath and the energy moving downward. This also supports and nourishes our skeletal system and opens up our root chakra, the Muladhara chakra. Your guided meditation is Pulse of the Living Earth. As you hold the Kanishta Mudra, take several natural breaths. Tune in to all the feelings and the sensations awakened by the gesture. Notice how your inhale is gently directed downward to the base of your body. Feel the support and grounding. Notice how your exhale is lengthened naturally, becoming slower and more serene. Feel your body where it connects with the earth beneath. Visualize roots from the base of your body growing down into the soil. With each inhale, your roots are growing deeper into the center of the earth. With each exhale, you're attuning more deeply to the subtle pulsations of the earth below you. We're breathing with the earth. Feel its resonance. The first of the earth qualities that you will integrate more fully is the ability to be present within your physical body, no matter what is going on. Take several breaths to inhabit your physical being from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. With a greater sense of presence in your physical being, you naturally sense a connection to the living earth and your natural surroundings. A feeling of being at home, a feeling of belonging. Present in your physical body and at home in your surroundings, you naturally embody the quality of security. Feel safe and supported at every step of your journey. Fully present in your body and surroundings with a greater sense of security, you're able to experience equanimity. That's the ability to remain centered and serene, no matter what is happening. This is what allows you to face your challenges with patience, curiosity, and objectivity. With greater presence, security, and equanimity, you're open to receive the support of the earth element. This is a knowing that life's intention is to provide for all of your needs naturally and abundantly, not as an end in itself, but as a means for unfolding all of your possibilities within your life's journey. At one with the living earth and all of its qualities, experience the harmony. Know that you are fully supported along your journey. We will repeat the following 3 times, or you can make up your own if it feels more natural to you. Embodying the earth's essential qualities, I journey forward with a sense of security and grounding. Embodying the earth's essential qualities, I journey forward with a sense of security and grounding. Embodying the earth's essential qualities, I journey forward with a sense of security and grounding. Go ahead and release the gesture. Move your fingers around. Take a few breaths to sense your oneness with the living earth. And as you're ready, blinking open your eyes and go into whatever Shavasana position feels right for you today. We've not done anything on hands and knees, so if you need to do a few hands and knees, cat-cows, before we do this, or if you want to go into child's pose, whatever you feel like doing for the last few moments. So whichever position you've chosen, take time to check back in. Check back in with your intention. Check back in with how your body is feeling now, the quality of your energy and breath. And just rest. So take your time. Start to move whatever wants to move first. Wiggling fingers and toes, turning the head gently side to side, shrugging the shoulders, and then finding your way, if you did not stay in seated, back to seated pose, and draw in, gathering any parts of today's practice that were particularly helpful in your healing journey. Draw hands to heart. It's just wonderful when we get to practice together. We get to share our healing journeys and support each other energetically. So I wish you well. Namaste.